Is Delta Force better than Arena Breakout? The answer is yes, but also no. Let's talk about it today. Back in 1998, developer and publisher Nova Logic released Delta Force for Windows. It was a tactical first-person shooter and was designed to be a military simulation loosely based on the United States Special Operations Unit named Delta Force. During its time, the game made a big success despite competing with other high-profile FPS games like Half-Life, Rainbow Six, Doom, Quake, and more, identifying itself as a unique FPS game that instead of focusing on fast-paced combat, it laid the groundwork for a tactical experience where strategy and critical thinking were important parts of playing the game. Some other examples of what made this game good was that it gave players the freedom to do missions and complete objectives in an open-world setting, and embracing a sense of realism like bullet trajectory and a one-bullet kill feature. This was the foundation of Delta Force. This was the roots of its tactical beginnings, and after 8 more installments and around 2 decades later, we are now here with Delta Force released last year of 2024. This latest version of Delta Force is now developed and published by Teamy Studio Group and Garena, respectively for Windows, iOS, and Android, and just recently a console release is scheduled on August 19 of 2025, and from here you can see how it has a wider reach on different platforms, offering cross-progression between accounts on respective devices. With its current version, Delta Force has 3 unique game modes: a single-player or co-op campaign mission inspired by the Black Hawk Down operation, a wide-scale 64 multiplayer match that reflects the roots of its original counterpart, and an extraction shooter mode for smaller teams and more tactical gameplay, offering fast-paced gunplay, operators with hero-like abilities, vehicular combat, and so much more. Delta Force has definitely set the tone for what gamers are looking for in the modern tactical shooter space. Switching gears, let's now talk about one of, or if not, the best realistic mobile FPS games today, Arena Breakout. Developed by More Fun Studios and published by Tencent Games. Just like Teamy Studio Group, both are considered prominent companies in the mobile gaming industry. As of this recording, Arena Breakout is now host to 2 versions of its game, being originally released for mobile back in July of the year of 2023 and now also releasing an official PC version around a year later, with the mobile version entering its 9th season while the PC version is about to enter its 2nd season. And as I mentioned 2 years ago when I made this video, Arena Breakout is still the best representation, or better yet, the inspiration of Escape from Tarkov on mobile. From the user interface, the textures, the gameplay, and its overall look and feel, every bit of the game embodies EFT as if it was made for mobile devices. Gameplay here is mainly focused on its extraction mode of varying difficulties, but also has evolved to cater more players as they introduce limited game modes like faction wars or deathmatch modes, but its extraction mode is still its best selling point. Having slower paced movement, body part injuries, a hunger system, and more establishes that this game is not your average FPS game, as you need to put value in everything that you do, as the margin for error and a harsh punishment of dying is much more common than you think. Quoting on one of the best FPS gamers of all time, Shroud mentioned one time that the reason people fell in love with Escape from Tarkov is because of the friction.
There's so much friction to play Tarkov. Most people don't even open that game. That friction is what makes the game so popular to its core audience.
And if I can interpret it in a different way, it doesn't mean that players enjoy losing, but it's the way how EFT pulls you in beyond your mouse, keyboard, and your monitor. It's how an extraction game can fully immerse you and do more than just pointing and clicking. Arena Breakout may not be as hard as Escape from Tarkov, but it also has that friction. But instead, it takes it and transforms it into an enjoyable PvP-dominant extraction shooter experience with a lot of quality of life features and updates for almost seamless gameplay. From the comparison of both games, I can already tell that you see a big difference in both. As similar with my previous comparison of Lost Light versus Arena Breakout, Delta Force is more fast-paced and have more arcade-like tendencies built for a more casual audience, while Arena Breakout on the other hand caters to the hardcore FPS gamers or veterans of tactical shooters. And here is where they differ. One is purely an extraction shooter game and the other is divided into mainly 2 or 3 main game modes. But yes, both have their own several unique game modes or LTMs here and there, but each also have their main selling points for every gamer. Arena Breakout is clear with its identity as an extraction shooter. Despite having other game modes, it still stays true to its identity, and the game modes that they add still revolve around the bread and butter of what made the game unique and enjoyable to play. While Delta Force, on the other hand, makes you choose from the 3 game modes it has. With how I see it, Warfare has always been its main draw, while Operations came a close second and the campaign mode was merely a DLC. So it does not have a clear identity like Arena Breakout does. The game has its own internal tug of war within itself between both Warfare and Operations mode respectively. Both games side by side clearly show a contrast in gameplay and styles, and also to what audience of gamers they are looking to cater. Delta Force caters to a more casual audience, being easy to learn and understand, well, except for flying a helicopter maybe, and you can easily access the game on various platforms, whereas this game was built intended for a more general audience, whether they have been a long-time FPS player or not. On the other hand, Arena Breakout then caters to a more hardcore audience who look for the friction or embrace the challenge of an extraction game, a higher learning curve than your typical FPS game. Currently separated into 2 versions for both mobile and PC respectively, and demands more of a commitment to play consistently, showing that this game was built and intended for a specific crowd of tactical FPS gamers. So let's loop back to the question, is Delta Force better than Arena Breakout? If we are talking about the extraction shooter experience, Arena Breakout is the winner. But in terms of FPS gaming with a wider audience, Delta Force is definitely better. The thing is, these 2 games are not in competition with each other. Both games carry their own identities and also have their own separate paths. But now, here again, I leave it to you. What do you guys think? Feel free to share your thoughts and ideas in the comment section down below. Rewatching my old video made me remember that it doesn't matter which game is better. All that matters is that we are free to choose what game we want and enjoy it however we want. A lot of good games have come out in the past 3 years, and with more coming as well. These games can compete with each other all they like. But in my eyes, we are the only winners here. So here I am again quoting myself 2 years later, never let any content creator or any fellow gamer tell you what you should like or don't like. Experience a game for yourself and decide where you want to be. Big shout out to these people for the comments on the last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, you know what to do. I really enjoyed making this video and I hope you enjoyed watching or listening to it as well. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and also please help me reach 1K followers on Facebook. Thank you so much for your support. I hope to see you guys in the next one.